I remember going to the company Christmas party in my dress blues. I looked sharp in the mirror, sure. But when I got home and I peeled those pants off, the marks left on my waist made me look like ground beef. I couldn't get the image out of my head. I was uncomfortable and honestly ashamed. Fast forward a few months. I'm in country with my unit. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after our missions, we hit the gym for an hour and a half, sometimes longer. We kept that rhythm going for, I don't know, 6, 7 months before I went home on leave. During that time, I told my wife at the time to have my pants let out because I knew I had gained weight. That image of ground beef in my waistline just, and honestly, that was the one constant task I knew I could rely on during that tour. And I was going to do it right, no matter what. No matter how stressful the day was or how unpredictable the mission was, I knew we had that time carved out. That structure grounded me. It gave me something to count on when everything else was chaos. And when I flew back home for leave, my brother in law at the time was getting married. He said, "Hey, I want you in your blues." I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good." He's, "Come on. I don't want to be the only jackass in a military uniform." Yeah, all right. So I agreed. Again, I had asked my wife at the time to have my pants let out. So when we got to the hotel the day before, I asked her, "Did you actually have these let out?" She said, no. Well, shit. Again, that image of ground beef around my waistline. After peeling those pants off, after 6 hours in uniform, just ground into my mind. So as I'm standing in the hotel room in front of the mirror, I slide my pants up. I suck in as far as I can, and I latch my pants, and I zip up. Holy shit, they fit. I started dancing around the hotel room. Woo-wee, woo-wee. It was a great time. I I hadn't taken into account the consistent workouts my squad and I had been doing. I felt stronger, clearer, more in control. But when I came home for good, all those good habits I had built in Iraq, they slowly fell apart. The structure, the drive, the accountability, it all faded. That experience taught me something powerful about habits. How easy they are to lose, how hard they are to build, and how much they shape how we see ourselves. Today, we're going to talk about that, about the real power of small habits, not the perfect morning routine or the hustle mindset, but the honest, gritty work of building habits when you're overwhelmed, stuck, or in transition. And we'll talk about how to tell the difference between bad habits and something deeper, like depression. Because sometimes the thing holding us back isn't laziness, it's pain. And recognizing that might be the first real step to change.
My life's a mess, don't know what to do, but every storm's a chance to break through. It's time to rise, to stand my ground, to chase my dreams and turn it all around. It's time for a change, time to set me free. Stay self-aware, resilient as can be. Life's a fight, but I'm here to say, put on your helmet, we're paving the way. We're paving the way.
Welcome back to Life's a Bitch, Get a Helmet. This is Fry. In this episode, we're breaking down the truth about habits, how they can save you, how they can fail you, and how to build them, even when life feels like it's falling apart. Let's give a shout out to Stella Blues. Whether you're a vaping veteran or considering an alternative to smoking, Stella Blues and Fenton is my go-to. They're not just experts in their field. They genuinely care about their customers' needs and safety. And the best part? You can now order online. If you stop by, tell them Fry sent you. Most people approach change like it's all or nothing. If you don't go to the gym for an hour, it's a failure. If they don't journal 3 pages, what's the point? But that's backwards. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, nailed it when he said, "Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become." That means even the smallest habit matters. 1 glass of water, 1 push-up, 1 minute of journaling. These things build identity. Identity builds momentum. Momentum builds confidence. I didn't realize it at the time. But during that deployment, those 3 gym days a week were shaping something in me. It's not just physically, but mentally. I was casting votes for a stronger version of myself without even knowing it. Now, I don't remember what episode I talked about this in, but this reminds me of a story about a guy I heard about. He was overweight, had horrible habits. He decided to take control of his life. So he set his mind to going to the gym. And that's what he did every day for a full year. He drove to the gym and sat there outside. He didn't even go in at first. But then, slowly, he added 1 small step at a time. He started getting out of the car, then walking inside, then inspecting the equipment. Eventually, he walked on the treadmill for 5 minutes. Over time, he built momentum, each new step adding to the last. That's how real change happens, slowly, intentionally. In fact, neuroscientists Yin and Knowlton found that repeating even small behaviors strengthens the neural pathways that make them automatically over time. So let's talk real for a sec. Some of you might be hearing this and thinking, "Oh, that's great. I can't even get out of bed most days. I don't know where to start." Not because you don't want to, but because everything feels heavy. That's not a bad habit. That might be depression. Now, let me pause right here. Because if I were leading a class right now, I'd ask, what changed between Iraq and home? The answer isn't discipline. I had discipline in both places. The answer is structure and environment. That crash I felt when I came home, that wasn't just falling off the wagon. I'd gone from structure, routine, and purpose to silence. And at the time, I didn't understand why it was so hard to hold on to the good stuff. I thought I was being lazy. But looking back, I was overwhelmed. Definitely depressed. So let's break it down. Bad habits. Learned routines, triggered by stress or boredom. They can be changed with intention. And procrastination and screen time are definitely bad habits. Signs of depression. Mental health condition, rooted in mood, trauma, chemical imbalance for some. May require therapy, support, or meds. And they leave you feeling fatigue and hopelessness, isolation, guilt, and so many more. Those bad habits and signs of depression, as you know, feed into other aspects of your lives. They don't stay in one box. I saw it in myself when I came home. I was irritable with my wife and family. I was distant from my wife and short with my soldiers. I was trying to get back to normal, but without the habits or structure I had downrange. I was spinning my wheels. It showed up in how I led, how I loved, and how I talked to myself when no one else was around. Those habits, or the lack of them, were showing up everywhere. Depression makes it hard to function, so you develop avoidance behaviors. Then you feel guilty. Then you avoid more. That's the overwhelm loop. And it becomes a round robin, a vicious cycle. Bad habits feed into the symptoms of depression. Depression makes those bad habits harder to break. Your procrastination or isolation then feels shame or guilt, which drains your motivation even more. That feeds to the depression, which leads to more avoidance, and the cycle just keeps going. The longer it goes, the harder it feels to interrupt. But understanding that cycle is the first step in breaking it. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, executive dysfunction, like being unable to start simple tasks, is one of the most common symptoms of depression. Naming it correctly matters, because the way you treat depression isn't the same as how you break a bad habit, and knowing the difference helps. So how do you move forward when you feel stuck? As much as I hate to admit this, I had to relearn how to focus on small tasks. I was overwhelmed by the big picture. When I tried to take everything on at once, I shut down. My room would be trashed, clothes everywhere. The kids would come in and throw trash on the ground. The dog would tear up a dirty diaper. And I looked around thinking, fuck, I can't do this. And then speaking with my therapist, who suggested a small task. Do a corner. See if that helps. Don't worry about anything else. Just focus on your corner. So I'd start with a corner. Just one. Clean that up. I felt good about it. Sweet. That does feel good. Dopamine hit. Bam. Okay, well then let's work from here and we'll do another corner. Just one more. Small task. One thing at a time. That's how you beat the overwhelm. Like in my story at the beginning. When we were deployed, the gym was our corner. It was the one thing I could control. And doing it right gave me structure, focus, momentum. That same principle still applies, even when it's just picking up trash in the room and folding one pile of clothes. It's not about the whole mess. It's about where you start. Start small. Smaller than you think. Not 30 push-ups. Just stand and stretch. Not a full journaling session. Just write one sentence. In The Power of Habit, Charles D. explains keystone habits, the small actions that create ripple effects. I didn't even know it at the time. But those post-mission workouts were our keystone habit. They bled into everything else. How we slept, how we led, how we showed up for each other. And I've seen now that when I build even a fraction of that routine back into my life, whether it's a quick stretch, a glass of water, or just waking up at the same time, it creates a ripple effect. The American Psychological Association found in 2020 that building structure, even small routines, helped improve emotional resilience. So pick a habit and do it for just 2 minutes. That's it. 2 minutes. 2 minutes of walking, 2 minutes of reading, 2 minutes of anything. You're not committed to the habit. You're committed to starting it. And starting it is the hardest part. As we wrap up this episode, I want to leave you with this. Habits don't fix everything. But they can be the rope you pull when it feels like everything else is collapsing. One small win at a time. So yeah, my blues don't fit the same anymore. Life changed. But I've come to understand that habits aren't about going back. They're about building forward. And every small thing I do today, that's me taking ground again. Just like I did back then. One workout, one choice, one moment at a time. Thanks for joining me today. Remember, stay self aware, stay resilient, and as always, life's a bitch. Get a helmet.
Boundaries are set, dreams in sight. With every step, I'm winning the fight. Life's a bitch, but I'm holding tight. Join the journey, let's ignite. It's time for a change, time to set me free. Stay self-aware, resilient as can be. Life's a flight, but I'm here.